Hey guys, this is Zone again. I'm going to do a quick little recap. I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I'm doing here. The next few colors I have here, I'm going to go ahead and actually not really paint this on screen. I'm going to come back to it, but I will describe how I did it in the next video. This is going to be a contrasting, and I do not want to do a wet blend because unfortunately when you wet blend these two colors, you do not get the desired effect. They react to each other. So I'm going to dry brush that on later off the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and paint my feather here, this Bad Moon Yellow. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and prep a secondary color here. I'm going to prep this brown. It's actually a tertiary color, but secondary on the model. And that's going to go over all this right here. All this, what looks like fur. Now that fur is not actually going to be brown. That fur is actually going to become like a metallic. But because metallics don't show up in true colors when you put them over white, particularly when you get other colors in there, I'm going to go ahead and do this all up in brown, and then I'll go back eventually and do it back in, I'm thinking like a bronze of some sort. Well, obviously one of the bronze or golds because I'm using brown. But so yeah, let me go ahead and start on that real quick. Once again, this is Bad Moon Yellow. I don't want that brush. I want this brush. This was a fine detail brush that sort of graduated to becoming a like a dry brush, or I do inks in small areas and that type of stuff. And I'm basically going to thin down my Bad Moon Yellow and treat it sort of like an old ink or a wash. Apparently I need to change my water pit because it's not creating a very yellow. That's just not going to work. This has to be more yellow than the rest of my armor is and whatnot. So let me go ahead and fix that real quick. Alright, this is sort of a something you shouldn't do. You shouldn't have water like that around your thing. I definitely don't want to touch my miniature when it's wet, when my hands are wet. As you can see, it's way too much water, but I got a little bit in the brush, and that will allow me to have a better yellow. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and paint this all into the recesses. To get rid of mistakes or any areas that are white, I'll touch it up. This is something I don't want to put too much down at one time, because I really don't want the yellow to have highs and lows. Not that I don't want the depth, but if your yellows have highs and lows, and your mauve has highs and lows, and the greens have highs and lows, and the turquoise has highs and lows, it gets so busy with a detail that you can't actually follow what the miniature is doing, and it gets distracting. Alright. And in case you're wondering what that noise was, if you heard that, it's cold outside, and that's water. I live in the basement. don't have such cool things as like trains going by, or sidecars or something like that. Now in Kansas we have noisy pipes when you're underground. Alright, cool. That's the general idea of what I'm doing with that. I go ahead and shake this up. This brown was very thick, and I added some water to it before the video, and it looks like I may have almost added too much, but we'll find out. Now we'll be fine. Once again, this is just sort of accent the colors we already have here, or I'm going to be putting on after this. So I really don't need this to be too thick. I just need it to be consistent. For my golds to be consistent, I need this to be consistent. My golds are bronze. Some people might ask, why do it now? Obviously, I got a ton of work on my cloak. Well, I'm doing it now because I want to visualize where I'm going with my cloak. I'm about ready to get to the point where I have to make decisions on my cloak. And I want to have sort of the color palette already on the miniature. I may make the miniature a little harder to paint, but I want to make sure that the colors I choose are the proper colors, and maybe work a little harder at putting them on than to choose the wrong colors, have it go on real easy, and then just be ugly. Anyways, we're going to stop this right here. I want this to be a little shorter, so I can go ahead and do the rest of this off camera. I'll go ahead and talk about it like I did at the start of this video. And yeah, if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and post them below. And I look forward to anything you have to say. Please subscribe. All right, have a great day. What you want?